want to talk about Cammy before or after we talk about Rose?
Uh, can I vote no to both? No, not talk about her at all. Frick, I hate Cammy. Let's talk about her now because she won the CPT.
Exactly. And Mago won with her, and it's not September, so obviously Mago is not a very strong player, and if he's winning, he's being carried by Cammy, who's broken. Okay, we're done with Cammy. What do you want to talk about next? Just kidding. What do you have to say?
Yeah. Now people can see they can hear my groans in the past. Now they can see my reactions to Cammy when she comes up. Shout outs to Demon Curse in the comments because man, I love that guy because he's so universally. Cammy is the best thing that's ever existed, will ever exist, and could ever exist. She's the best thing. She can do no wrong, except for she's the dumbest freaking character in the game. Capcom, what the hell were you thinking when you left her intact? Look, this is nothing on Mago. Mago's a great player. He won CPT events in the past. It's just, why do you have a character that stupid, that easy to play, be that good in this game? That is my issue with it. I had issues with Necalli in the past. I have no issue with him now. Necalli is very well balanced. He's actually a fun character, relatively speaking, to play against. Bison, I'm a little less unsure of. I'm not sure if Bison's still terrible, but when you and I, and drinking of Ran sets now, and I play my Bison, it's not the BS that it was before. It's still Bison BS, but it's not a 12 out of 10. It's like a 8 out of 10. I don't know if that's still too good for what Bison is because I play him. I know he's easy to play. Shouts to 420 because you can go in there and do some extracurricular activities and play Bison at a super high level and be just fine. So that's
super high level.
There you go. And we're gonna need a graphic up there or something, right? But anyway,
no, you're not supposed to do that in YouTube.
Yeah, there you go. But I digress. Cammy is the worst of this right now, and she's hands down. We've had issues with this. It's any character who's super easy to play should not be inherently that great. Cammy might be one of the best characters in the game. She's at least top 10 if you ask me. It's some people have her top 1. I mean, I don't know.
A lot of people have her top 1. They've got her, Rashid, Urian up there. I haven't seen the power of Rashid firsthand yet. I don't disagree. We didn't see much Rashid in the CPT, did we?
Yep. Yeah. John Takeuchi's he's over to Cody now. He busted out Rashid to play against Zangief, which is a really good idea. Zangief has certain really bad matchups. Like I don't know how Rose is going to do against Zangief, but I think really well. Yeah. But that might be a matchup that I always kept Minot in my back pocket, and Minot is not a pocket character. She's incredibly hard to play, but that one match is not overly hard to play against Zangief, right? Yeah. So anyway, but that's Rashid and Zangief as well. That really favors Rashid. But anyway, he played Cody besides, so I definitely think the luster is off of Rashid, and I think some of the legacy feelings that we kind of have towards him, I think that's getting him as high up as he is. Mm-hmm. I do think he's a worse character. Again, why would you drop Rashid in the past? John Takeuchi had never dropped him before. Why would he, drop him now unless he's worse? So
right. Yeah, and so do you think that Cammy's going to be the one that we're going back to, talking about, how we've talked about Akuma's Air Fireball, Rashid in past seasons being the sore thumb of being way too good and like, hey, this needs attention. 2 questions. One, is she the one for us this season thus far, as far as we can tell? And then 2, is it to the same degree, do you think, that Akuma last season was, for instance? It's the same degree. Like she's
no, it's
busted,
definitely not.
Okay, so it's relatively better. Things are cinched up generally, but maybe Cammy is still like the problem now. And if there's a problem, and more specifically, it's like there can be a top character in the game. There has to be, but should that character be as easy to play as Cammy? I know your argument there, and I don't disagree with you. And then 2.
I actually disagree fundamentally because it's something Combo Fiend told us. He said, and again, Combo Fiend was a very big battle designer at Capcom. He helped out a lot with the production of the games. I don't think his official title was battle designer, but he did a lot of work with the gameplay. That's a way of saying it, right? And he said to us back in Ultra Street Fighter 4, he's like, who's the number 1 character? And I think back then, it was Arcade Edition we were still talking about. So we're like, yeah. And he's like, okay, I don't want it to be that way anymore. We don't want it to be that way, I should say. At Capcom, we want the number 1 character to be ambiguous as we can get it. That is ideal. So yes, ultimately there should be a number 1 character. There's going to be, but as ambiguous as you can make that is really ideal for your game, because it just means that the balance is up for debate. And that means that there's it's fighting games. There's always plenty of stuff to find. But if you have a hands down number one character, it's not ideal.
Yeah, I agree. And they shouldn't be, well, I guess this is encompassed in what you just said. They shouldn't be such a head and shoulders above everybody else. And would you say Cammy feels like she's there now, or her only real problem is just how easy she is to play?
My real problem with Cammy is how easy she is to play. It's to get the same exact benefits like with Manat, I have to work 20 times harder. And the comparison I use, and I'll say it flat out, Cammy players are playing checkers and a lot of other characters are playing chess. And you don't have to think that much to play Cammy. And you can rely on your reactions. You can rely on a bunch of other stuff. You don't have to worry about the execution and the problems that most other characters do. Cammy is the biggest sore thumb for how much she gets for how little you have to put in right now. And that, to me, as a player of games, it's upsetting. Again, look, if I'm having to play chess and someone has to play checkers and they can beat me, that sucks. That hurts your value of the game. And not everyone's going to agree with that, but in my opinion, that is very much been the case, and it's why I've been okay now with Nikali, because they're like, look, let's reduce his power level down. You can still play footsies with him, you can still do all this stuff, but he's not great. He's good enough, and that's fine. Like, Nikali is a really good balance point for an easy character to play. He's mid-tier, not a problem at all. So